Hello everybody, Septa here, and today I'm going to be platinuming Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. This game is kind of an oddball for my channel. I platinumed Garden Warfare 1 and 2 I guess now over a year ago. In my free time. I didn't do any videos on them, so I decided to get the last 3D Plants vs. Zombies game done as an actual video. A lot of these trophies are kind of just for kills, and there's not really a structured story. So the first thing that me and Zaya decided to do, because I did a bunch of the trophies with her, was just play multiplayer. The first trophy I got was just for reviving 10 players. You're likely to get this just playing. Get back out there for reviving 10 allies in our first trophy of the Neighborville Platinum. After playing multiplayer for a bit, I decided to head back to the Backyard Battleground, which is basically just the main hub of the game. There's various different trophies that you can get, and the first one I got was for destroying 25 targets. Another thing I'd like to mention is the audio on this Platinum is delayed during a lot of parts for some reason. I don't know why, and it kind of just decides to work or not, but here's that trophy pop. Bean's Eye for destroying 20 targets at the target range. Still in the backyard, I went for a zombie side exclusive trophy just for doing this like dance game. It's not too difficult, you just have to stay out of the X's. You do have to remember that this is a kid's game, but I'd like to say a couple words about the Platinum first. A lot of the grind is split up between PvE and different kills because you have to get 200 kills with almost all the characters. So I'll be skipping through a lot of those trophies, but here is me getting the trophy. I apologize for that stutter. Zombie see, zombie do for getting a score of 25 or higher in the Dance Hall of Obedience. And the next trophy we got was kind of a random one. It's just for doing 25 expressions. They're like a new form of emote that you can do to just chat. You can literally farm this up. Like, this is the whole trophy that I'm getting here. Honestly, just super easy. You can get it in any game mode. And here's the trophy pop. Broken Ice for using 25 expressions. And with that, we are kind of ending the little trophy like montage at the spawn base, and me and Zaya headed over to start doing PvE. The first one we did was Mount Steep, and basically how every single of the 3 areas goes is you do 3 different main missions, each giving you a trophy, then you fight a boss for another trophy. The audio is so delayed and the storyline is pretty much just a nothing burger. So the only interesting thing that I will mention is here I got my 200 kill with a pea shooter, because this mode is great for farming up kills. And here's that trophy. Peacekeeper for vanquishing 200, or just getting 200 kills as Pea Shooter. That's our first character trophy. This was our first story trophy. Honestly, super boring. Nothing to the story, as I said. So I'm not really going to mention it because it doesn't make any sense at all. And is, as I said, really just nothing going on. But here is our first story trophy. Truest Grit for completing the genuine article in Mount Steep. The second mission was pretty much like the same, boring wise. You just had a couple more difficult enemies to fight, and the audio is delayed, so this is pretty much all I'm going to say on it. And once again, another trophy pop. Podcast subscriber for completing the treasure hunt quest in Mount Steep. The third mission kind of sucked because me and Zaya kept getting glitched, but here's that trophy. New sheriff in town for completing Will You Be My Posse quest in Mount Steep. Now on for the boss fight. The boss fight's honestly so easy, it's not even funny. Like, you literally just have to kill a giant robot, and that's literally it for the boss fight. But I did get my 200 kills with the Colonel Corn. For earning 200 vanquishes as a Colonel Corn. Low-key very surprised because started using Colonel Corn like halfway into our adventure here, and I already got my 200 kills. So I guess, guys, now my main tip for these trophies, like the kill trophies, is just to bring people into these AI areas. As I said, the boss fight was just so easy. Like, this is literally the easiest boss fight I've ever done in my life. This one is kind of the easiest in my opinion. Or no, sorry, the second easiest in my opinion. But it's just boring. Like, this whole like PvE story is boring. But there's a trophy. For defeating Major Problem. After completing Mount Steep, we headed to Weirding Woods. This was the zombies area. There was 2 plants and 1 zombies area you had to do. And I also got my 200 kills. 1 boot camp for earning 200 vanquishes as a foot soldier. This area was my least favorite, but we ended up having to return later for more trophies. But here's our first mission trophy. Open-minded for completing Becoming One with the Dumb in Weirding Woods. The story of the Weirding Woods trophies, or mission, sorry, was even like stranger than the first one. Like there was a talking washing machine and stuff. Gone camping for completing Zombie Prepared. And essentially the whole premise of this one, as I do find this one to be the most interesting, is that there's like a dummy, which is the All-Stars like shield that they all worship, but it makes them stupid. And basically our whole goal is to get that back. And here's the third mission trophy pop. Newer Denikeb for completing Be Kind Rewind. Now it is boss fight time. This was by far the hardest boss, as this tree was just honestly really difficult to fight. It took like 15 minutes, but eventually we did take it down and rescue the dummy to get a trophy and complete the area. Sawing logs for defeating Dreadwood and completing this area of the game. The next trophy we got was just a random one in the backyard. You had to play a specific song on a piano in the plants like area of the backyard battleground. Seriously, just such a random trophy, so I'd recommend looking up a guide, as I ripped this trophy straight from the PSN Profiles guide, because I don't know how else you'd figure this out. But here is that trophy pop. Classical Pianist for playing the PvZ theme on piano. Low-key, the song did not sound like fucking anything, but that is another trophy. Next, we went on to our third and final PvE area, and during this, we started to do a gnome challenge. Basically, we had to fight various gnomes, and this does give you a trophy after you kill 35. Maker for vanquishing 25 gnomes. And that trophy is a good spot to grind the ability trophy for the acorn, which turns into this guy, the oak. Basically, for his trophy, you have to kill, I think, 30 enemies with a double kill with his ability. And you can farm it easily there, but you can also get it at other spots. Natural 20 for earning 20 multi-vanquishes using roll for damage as an oak. Next trophy comes from a returning feature of just planting plant pots. Very easy, and you get a trophy after 25. Good to grow for spawning 25 potted plants. Our next trophy was just for getting 200 kills with the acorn. Honestly, not specifically a certain area I would recommend for this. You kind of just get it from grinding kills, and this one mission in the area was super freaking like long for some reason. Like it was like 30-40 minutes long, which is why I've gotten now, this will be my third trophy just from this mission, which is kind of crazy considering how short these missions are. But soon we do kill the Grandmaster Sensei. Shit. But we also do get the Going Totally Nuts trophy for those 200 kills. Vanquishes as Acorn. Already got this. Was not expecting to get that trophy this soon. As I previously said, we soon killed the Sensei who dropped his beard for some reason, which we were using to essentially deck out a lawnmower and make the lawnmower cool so we could get in a secret zombie robot disco party. Doesn't make any sense, but at least it gave us a trophy. For completing Fight Gentrification. Next, we went to kill the Baron zombie, or the vampire zombie, in order to acquire his hat, once again to drip out the lawnmower. And this mission once again gives us another trophy. Hats all, folks, for completing Baron Palooza. The final dude we slime out for drip is the Yeti, who gives us the Bling Train, arguably the drippiest item that any of the bosses give us. And this is also our final mission. Chums and Chains for completing I Treasure You. Now it was time for the final boss, the Disco Zombie. Honestly, very easy and fun, which kind of goes in hand because some of the other ones were hard for no reason. This one's just fun and enjoyable in my opinion. And after defeating the boss, we get our final PvE trophy. Nighty Night Club for defeating Old School. Now guys, something I would like to say is the majority of the platinum that is left over is literally just character trophies. Now for almost all the characters, I believe 16 out of the 20 base game characters, you get a trophy for just getting 200 kills. It doesn't matter if they're AI or not. So the place that me and Zaya farmed these out was in garden and graveyard ops, as there's just waves of zombies or plants that come in and it's super easy for farming. Here I get the nightcaps vanquishes. Mind the cap for getting 200 vanquishes as Nightcap. Nightcap also had an ability trophy where all you had to do was just run around. Now before I got that, I got a random trophy in the backyard for killing 25 enemies while on a Giddy Park ride. Once you hit up Diddy Park, you can just head to this rotating thing and kill all the zombies. I'm also trying to farm out the last Nightcap trophy for just running in that ability. Now back to that previously mentioned trophy, all you had to do was run around in this ability for it, pretty easy. Midnight Jog for using Shadow Sneak for 1,000 feet as a Nightcap. Still in graveyard ops, back to that previous trophy where we had to plant 25 pots, we had to do the opposing of planting 25 bots on the zombies. Build a buddy for spawning 25 bots. The next zombie I grinded was the Electric Slide, and I got her ability pretty soon. Tornado Fandango for getting 20 kills with the Electric Slide's tornado ability. The next plant that I got the trophy for was Chomper. Chomper's honestly pretty good for a melee character, and the kills didn't take too long, and here is that trophy pop. Snack time for 200 vanquishes with the Chomper. And in the next game after that, I got my 200 kills for Electric Slide. Electric Slide's a pretty good character overall. Clearing the dance floor for getting 200 kills as Electric Slide. After that, I grinded kills for arguably the best plant, being Snapdragon. I grinded most of these out in garden ops and then got the rest in the backyard.
Yeah, I literally have
as you can
199
also
kills.
farm a lot of kills there. Barbecue Anyone for earning 200 vanquishes as a Snapdragon. The next trophy was for getting Captain Deadbeard's kills. He's honestly ass in my opinion and one of the worst zombies of all time. And I Spy with my little eye for getting 200 vanquishes with Captain Deadbeard. Next, I went for Cactus's kill trophy, just the same way I went about Snapdragons, with doing garden ops in the backyard. This one for some reason I didn't voice over, but it's just for getting 200 vanquishes with the cactus. Now the next couple trophies I went on for was like the kill trophies, but not really. So basically the Sunflower for the plants and Scientist for the zombies are healers. So instead of having to get kills, you have to heal like over health, which is like over shield in Fortnite. Basically you just have to heal them up with that little gold bar or like yellow bar and get that health up, and then after getting a certain amount you get a trophy for both. You also have to block damage as the All-Star and the Citron, just to let you guys know why I won't have to get kills with them, but here the trophy will soon pop. Overgrowth for healing 1,000 like over shield or over health, whatever it's called, as the Sunflower. After doing all that healing, we had to make it up by Brains Unattended zombies for vanquishing 100 zombies in PvP. And like with the Sunflower, we next went with the Scientist to get his healing. Basically, I just decided to also do it in the backyard, as it's just a really good way if you turn on the AI to grind up these various trophies. Medical Miracle for giving 1,000 overhealth as a Scientist. Back in multiplayer, I was trying to grind up all-star kills, or not all-star kills, trying to block damage with the all-star, and I ended up killing my 100th plant in PvP. Paradise Paver for vanquishing 100 plants in PvP. And then after that, we did block all the damage. His shield is way worse than Citron's, but still, the blocking damage trophies are arguably some of the easiest in the game. Defense! Defense! For blocking 1,000 damage with the All-Stars dummy shield. Next, I went for the 80s Action Heroes ability trophy, which popped right here. Giddy up for getting 20 kills with the Rocket Ride ability as 80s Action Hero. I think the only character that doesn't have one of the ability trophies is Snapdragon, but I honestly do not know why they didn't give him a trophy. And then shortly after that last trophy, I do get 80s Action Heroes 200 kills. Honestly, these weren't too bad. He's very good in PvE, but not too good in PvP. Also, the reason we're back in PvE is because we had to get medals for a super grindy trophy that we get later on. Basically, there's different like objectives that give you medals, and you have to do 75 total, but the trophy's bugged. Just to let you guys know. But here's that trophy. Blast from the past for earning 200 vanquishes as the 80s action hero. See, I like him like in PvE, but in PvP he is like my least favorite character. Speaking of that trophy, we headed back to Weirding Woods to get the various medals from here. I found out that you have to get like 15 in each area to get the trophy, but here's my trophy. The medal for collecting 75 medals. These were difficult and the trophy actually bugged. I have 82 total medals. And I'm going to help Zaya get up here because hopefully this will get her trophy to pop because hers is glitched too. After that, I was helping Zaya get various medals. This wasn't too difficult, but whilst doing that, I got my 200 imp vanquishes. There's a lot of people to farm in the PvE areas, like I said. Imply impressive for getting 200 vanquishes as an imp. Afterwards, we hopped into Team Vanquish. This is where I decided to try to help Zaya boost her 100 PvP kills trophy. We didn't end up doing this for long, but whilst trying to boost this, I blocked 1000 damage with my Shield of Citron. His shield is so much better, if I'm being honest. Zest of the best for blocking 1000 damage with the Peel Shield as a Citron. Afterwards, the next zombie trophy I got was for 200 kills with Super Brains. He's the melee zombie, and he's honestly so good. Another thing I wanted to say is the reason that these zombies and Plants trophies are flip-flopped is because you play as one game, and then the other team the next game. That's why they're not in a row. Super B for getting 200 vanquishes as Super Brains. And with that, we are on to the final plant kill trophy. Basically, this one's for Rose, and she is like the worst plant. Like, I hate this character so much. She was pretty good in Garden Warfare 2, but in Battle for Neighborville, she's just terrible. Coming up, Roses for getting 200 vanquishes as Rose. Now for our next trophy, the Engineer's kills. Him and the Rose are complete opposites. It's like comparing a thumbtack to a frickin' nuke, okay? He does so much damage. Like, look at me just melting these guys. I got all of his kills in one game. Job well done for getting 200 kills as Engineer. And I got this all in one game, which I'm proud of myself for. And now for the next and final character trophies, it was time for Space Cadet. First, we had to get her ability trophy, which I explained pretty well in live. Science Fiction for getting 20 kills in the Crater Maker with the space station. So basically, as Space Cadet, you gotta press triangle to go into space station, then you gotta use your R1 ability to get that trophy. And then shortly after that trophy, we got the last of her 200 kills. One big step for zombies for earning 200 vanquishes as Space Cadet. Alright guys, time for the last trophy of the Platinum. This trophy is for getting every character to level 20 or max level. Basically, this is why this game takes 130 hours, but I don't have 130 hours. I'm trying to get 6 Platinums in July, and this is supposed to be number 2, okay? So there's actually a glitch you can do, which I'm doing whilst editing this video, so wish me luck, guys. Alright guys, live Septa here, and we're about to get the Platinum. It took me about 33 hours to get my stuff done, and then I helped Zaya get hers. So overall spent like 40 hours on this game, but still 90 hours less than what we were supposed to. And now me and Zaya are going to get this Platinum at the same time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. And time to seriously go outside, which is something that's definitely true. And the Platinum for Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.